Let's continue talking about the economy in New Jersey on two fronts: the tariff on steel and aluminum and how it might affect New Jersey, and also the unemployment rate. Here to talk about those two things is Tom Prusa, who is the economic professor at Rutgers University. Economics professor, you're not the only one. Sir, thank you so much for being here.
Nice
I appreciate
to be with you.
Let's talk about the tariffs and the alleged trade war that we don't know if it's going to happen yet. A good thing or a bad thing for New Jersey?
Absolutely bad. I see no upside to New Jersey at all, this policy. There's localized upside benefits to steel workers in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and other parts of the country. That is not New Jersey. New Jersey is a steel consuming state, not just individuals, but we have a lot of firms who are purchasing and processing steel in the state of New Jersey. All of these firms yesterday afternoon experienced a significant price increase. It's inevitable that their prices are going to go up somewhere between 15% and 20% is my estimate. This is a substantial increase.
It's interesting that you said it. I know you're an economist, not a political science major, but tell me if this theory could be right. A lot of people were saying about it. You said New Jersey's a steel consuming state, not a steel producing state. Yeah. It was a shock that Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania all went for Donald Trump in the last election. There was an accusation when he gave the tax cut that it helped those states more than it helped states like New Jersey that didn't vote for him. Yes. Is the same thing happening here?
Absolutely. This is yet another shot to the Northeast, right? Absolutely. This is a tax hike beyond the tax bill, which changed dramatically how New York, New Jersey taxpayers are going to be able to deal with high property taxes. We just experienced a large increase on a variety of products that we consume, from washing machines to dryers to automobiles. Roads are going to cost more to construct with higher cost of rebar. This is a real shot to the Northeast.
And if you're a political cynic, you think, well, he's just placating the states that voted for him and pandering to the states that voted for him, and not to the states that voted against him.
I think he views the steel industry generally and the steel workers in particular as part of a base that he needs to retain in order to win an election, and the overall cost to the economy are not. I think he's viewing this as a localized set of benefits that will generate votes for him.
The one thing you have to give him is he said he was going to do this all along. He did say this during the campaign.
That's correct, but the method which he did it is almost unprecedented. There's never been a national security tariff measure, anything approaching this. There are other much more WTO compatible ways to do a tariff increase on steel, not resorting to national security. And that's one, we have direct cost of every resident in New Jersey at some form is going to experience higher prices because of this tariff increase. But another huge risk to New Jersey companies is we don't know how countries are going to respond to this. There's been discussion that the EU is going to put tariffs on cranberries, for instance. That would directly affect New Jersey. We don't know. There could be other tariffs put on pharmaceutical products. There have been talk about tariffs going on coal, orange juice, bourbon. There's a variety of industries, not all New Jersey industries, but there's going to be additional costs. We don't know yet how it's going to play out, but it's not going to be good. This is not a win situation for the United States. This is a really bad situation, particularly for New Jersey.
We don't know what countries will be exempt at this point. There will be some exemptions.
Well, right now he's indicated that Canada and Mexico, and he's willing to negotiate with other countries. The rhetoric behind the tariff is that this was his unhappiness with China. China is the 10th larger, is number 10 in terms of our sources of our steel imports. So a lot of the rhetoric is that he's unhappy with China, probably reasonably so. We've already taken hundreds of trade actions against China and China's steel industry. This is really pandering to his base. This is not about national security. Tariffs are going on Germany, Britain, France, Spain, Japan, Korea. Do we really think these countries' industries are posing a national security risk if we needed steel? And actually, the military consumption, they account for less than 5% of steel production goes to the military. So there's really no basis for the national security argument. The countries we're levying these tariffs on are our allies.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens because Republicans have come out. Most Republicans have come out against the tariffs too. He seems to be standing alone on a lot of this. Him and the rest of the people, and some of the people in the White House. But I do want to shift a little bit to the unemployment rate. There was a little bit of a shock recently when the unemployment numbers came out for state to state, and almost every state went down. New Jersey went up. What happened?
Well, New Jersey for a decade has been lagging the national economy. You know, we took a big hit with the 2007 through 2009 recession. We're particularly sensitive to the downturn in the financial markets, but New York recovered in a way that New Jersey hasn't. And so the shock on a variety of New Jersey industries has persisted, and our economy is different than many parts of the country. And for a long, long time, we thrived because of our strong high-tech, pharmaceutical industry, financial services industries. And these industries are not growing at the rate that other industries in the United States are. And that is it's a problem. Now, 5.1% unemployment rate in some ways is not a disaster, but it doesn't look good compared to the entire rest of the country. And it's a challenge for the new governor and the legislature. They need to start addressing what they need to do to bring business to New Jersey.
I just interviewed the president of the NGBIA, who is a lobbyist for business in the state. And they say the business climate under this new governor is worse than it was under the past governor. He just took office because of the increase in taxes that he's talking about, because of the increase in the minimum wage. Will that continue to hurt us when it comes to unemployment because we can't attract new businesses?
I don't know whether there's a minimum wage issues happening around the country. That question is whether New Jersey's differential relative to other states. It's probably not. There is a question on the millionaire's tax. New Jersey has profoundly a state budget problem. That must be addressed, and that's a hard question for Governor Murphy and the legislature to deal with. One way to do it would be to either tax businesses heavier or to go after the millionaires.
Well, that's being proposed too. A 3% increase in the 33% increase.
Right. So he has a difficult set. We have to address our state budget issues. We absolutely. It is irresponsible for the legislature and the governor not to address.
Will businesses leave?
They have to be very careful, and I would say as you pursue these policies, you need to be in regular interaction with the major companies in New Jersey to be sure you're doing it in a way that will not drive them to other states.
But you don't see anything turning around when it comes to the unemployment rate, only because of the way the New Jersey economy is set up.
Right. I think there's nothing that's been in the horizon. You know, this has been persistent. If you go and look for a solid 5 years, there's been one excuse after another. We're finally turning the corner. New Jersey's going to catch up. Those false proclamations have happened over and over again. I think we need to realize that New Jersey, we need to do something different to attract businesses in New Jersey. It just hasn't happened in the last 5 years, and I think just talking about it is not enough. We need action.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Right, you bet.
I appreciate you being in today. Tom Prusa is an economic professor at Rutgers University. When we come back, still to come on Jersey Matters, this could be the first state in the country to put warning labels on a potentially dangerous drug. We'll have the story next.